Today was a day of big old swings in the stock market. We need to talk about what's coming up for us potentially over the next several days in the markets. We're going to take a look to see what happened today with the charts, QQQ, SPY, IWM. We'll also toss in Bitcoin because honestly, it's lining itself up pretty much the same way we have for the major indices that are out there. And then also we'll take a look at XRP to give an update on that one and the penny stocks that I talked about in this morning's video to see what exactly happened with that price action and where they could potentially go from here. By the way, if you guys want to see my technical analyses, my buys and sells, how I'm playing the market and how I'm adding alpha to my portfolio, you can find the link down in the description for the Discord. Got a joint Discord with the other panel experts, thousands of members in that community. You guys can sign up for a little bit more than what comes out to be about $1 a day with the buys, sells, technicals, analyses, community, communication, trading tools. There's advanced charting tools. There's also the bread recipe, the bread bot that's over there as well. You guys can find it all. I'll tell you about it more in the video. In the meantime, let's get over into the charts here. So we're going to kick things off with QQQ. As the market comes to a close, we got 5 minutes left. And I'll tell you what, look at this candle that we have, this buying pressure that came in, such a narrow body on this thing, getting rejected off this red 50 EMA that's coming down the line right now. Now, mind you, we hit that early in the day. If I put up the minute chart on this and I'll reset the view so we can really see the dip that we took in the markets. Look at that U shape that we make with this thing, or V shape, whatever you want to call it, as we came down. So came up, popped the market up here, and this is about where I established my short hedge position against the market because we got four big days coming up. I don't want to have everything long, nothing short, and then have no alpha to show for it. And if the market instead rallies, all my long positions are going to pay out and that short kind of fades away. So it eats a little bit into the profits in either direction. But I will say with that short hedge in place, we're good to go. So now mind you, look at this dip that we took for the Qs. Nice big volume towards the end of the day, putting in that buying pressure. However, going back out to the daily chart, the thing to break over, and this is what I think is interesting about this chart, the market knows that we have 4 big days coming up. It put us in a spot where we're literally teetering over what could happen next. So the market is absolutely ready to reject off of this and sell back down if we get bad news for JOLTS, if we get bad news for GDP, if we get bad news for anything employment, you name it. So non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, initial jobless claims, whatever happens to be coming our way over the next 4 days, the market is absolutely ready for it. And of course, there's always that whole tariff news thing in the background of everything that we're looking at right now. So if we go over to SPY, we'll take down the technicals on this one too and just take a look at the moving average indicators that we have on here. And we, once again, didn't quite make it up to that 50 EMA. We have just too much going on right here with the historical resistance looking really similar. We got bullish momentum, the 5's above the 13, just like what we had for the Qs. And if I switch from the EMAs and go over to the simple moving averages, we're up above the 20, haven't quite made the 50. We have the 200, below that's the 50, below that's the 20. So longer term, still kind of bearishness. And so right now we're ripping upward. Will we have a longer, more sustained fall? We're going to have to watch and see. I think those economic reports are the catalyst, but then we also have earnings reports also as catalysts, watching for the guidance that they give, what the companies have to say about their outlook throughout the rest of 2025 or into the next quarter of 2025. I think uncertainty is going to be that buzzword that just keeps on repeating itself over time here. So when we look at IWM, look at this. I talked in my morning's video about coming up to this trend line, finding that resistance there. We nearly got to that point of rejection on the 23rd of April. Today, we absolutely smooched what we have right here for this trend line coming up. And like I said, this is part of a big decades-long bull channel that we're looking at here, from going all the way back to 2008 is where the earliest touch points come in, all the way up through present day. So 17 years in the making. So 1.7-ish decades, if you will, that we see this development of just this massive bull channel coming to life below the green, dying above the red, living in between the green and the red. And if we can make it between white and yellow, which, you know, there's potential that we could. I said that the market is lining itself up for an interesting point, and this is exactly the point of interest that we're looking for these candles, for the moving averages that we have here, is that just sort of teetering, ready to move, nimble in either direction for what could come our way. If we look at the simple moving averages, just like with the Qs, just like with the SPY, the 200, down below that 50, down below that 20, when you have this structure that the fastest moving averages are below the slower moving averages that happen to be above it in this case, that's a bearish sign that we're looking at for longer term. Near term bullishness though, we're up above the 20. That's a bullish thing. And if we look at the EMAs that I had up first, we're above the 5 and the 13, near-term bullish. RSI above 50, near-term bullish. So until we see signs that we're starting to turn around again, I think that we can have a little bit of solace, a little bit of comfort in the fact, at least from the technicals. And hopefully, at the very least, we get news that doesn't change the status quo for the direction of the markets right now. Hopefully, we get bullish stuff. If we got bearish stuff coming, hopefully you're positioned. I know that I am. If you guys want to see how, links in the description for the Discord. You can see how me and the other panel experts handle it. Going over to Bitcoin, what's so interesting about Bitcoin? Well, man, oh man, look at this rejection. I keep on talking about this line. I'll put one out here in bold for you at 95,118. That is the number. Drop that down just a little bit, and I'm even going to increase. There we go. The pixel count on this, make it 4 pixels. There's that white line going across your screen. We currently have 4 candles rejected at that value, just kind of chopping sideways, if you will. We need to get on top of 95,118. If we do, if we sit a candle on top of this, we're probably going to get an easy $3,000 bump up above that yet for Bitcoin. So be on the lookout for it. Could be another quick 3%. And then there's just a lot more space up above that. We had to chop through resistance, and now we're just setting up, like I said, with what we have for the indices, whether it's NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, Russell 2000, through the ETFs that I showed you, or Bitcoin right here. All of them are getting ready for a big move in either direction. I think we're going to find that over the next couple days here. If not tomorrow with jolts, then we have GDP after that. Either way, I think the bulls or bears are going to make a decisive move this week. This is the time to be watching. Over to XRP, look at this. This is what I mean about the 20, which is right now in between the 50 and the 200. We want to see the 20 up on top of the 50. That's a very bullish sign if we get the blue to cross over this magenta color that's on here. The fact that the candles are above all 3 is a very bullish sign. The fact that the RSI is above 60 is still near-term bullish as well. So we have longer-term bullish, we have near-term bullish. And if I put the EMAs up to look to see what's going on, we had the 5 cross the 50, the 13 is nearly there. Maybe tomorrow's that day. It's going to be overall market bias, in this case, crypto market bias. That's really probably going to be the thing that's going to help us out, pushing us up higher, if not direct news about XRP itself. Now for those penny stocks, BBAI, where'd it go today? Today, let me see, it's 401 up 1.13%. You can see it did tumble back down, caught itself some support. Now we're heading back up. 353 is that number we want to stay on top of to see things, see if we get to move higher for BBAI. Now, mind you, this one did climb pretty well on this, so it went up to 379 before settling back down to close at 357. I took a position on this. We'll see if it pans out for us, if we have enough momentum to push us higher. We still have, if I take down the lines on this thing, we just look at the EMAs. We are above the 50 EMA. We're above the 5 and the 13. If we can get more of the fast ones to cross over the slower ones, once again, very bullish. If the market happens to reverse on us, the overall market, probably going to drag the penny stocks with it. We got to make sure that we know that. If instead it tends to go in the upward direction, that downward pressure comes off, probably going to get a tail whip effect on these. They're probably going to skyrocket. Those options that I took are probably going to print. I also took a position on Recor, there we go, Recor Systems, REKR. So for this one, big long tail here showing us a lot of buying pressure come in there. I took a position on this one as well. Like I said, if you guys want to see those positions, you guys know where to find the link for the Discord. So the 50 coming down this way. Haven't crossed it, but the 5's up above the 13. The RSI up over 50. If we can push a candle up above that 50 EMA, that's going to be the next bullish sign that we have. We got it for BBAI, like I just showed you. REKR, that's the next thing that we're trying to cross is right there. Volume tapering off a little bit from the more explosive volume that we had on Friday, but still above average volume over these last 4 days. We'll see if there's some gas in the tank. The fact that we closed up over $1 is a very good thing. There's significant resistance that happens at $1. We closed at $1.02. Next thing, push above that 50. QSI closed down 1.63%. However, we got a very indecisive candle here. Long wicks, top and bottom on this thing. Closed up above the 5 and the 13. The 5's up above the 13. So near-term bullish for us. I did not take a position on this one. The RSI, just not there. The price action, the volume, just not there yet. Those are the things that I'm looking for. If we get a green candle on good volume tomorrow that pushes up higher, maybe that's the time that if we're going to get a breakout for QSI, that we actually see it. Now, guys, I also want to tell you in a moment about Tesla, but just so you know, if you guys want to learn about technical analysis yourself, options trading, how to use the bread recipe trading like I do, whether it's my day trading or it happens to be trading that lasts over several days, weeks, or months. You guys can find that out through Stockmo Academy. Links in the description. There's 2 courses that you can take. One on technicals that includes the bread recipe trading strategy, and the other one on how to trade options and the nuances of options that are out there. Bundle the course is going to save you a ton. If you use the code word doctor, regardless of which course you buy or the bundle, it's still going to save you a ton of cash no matter what you do. And it supports the channel in this process. So guys, support yourself, invest in yourself. You really learning how to add that alpha to your portfolio. Those courses can help you do it. And if you want a community there to help support you, it has its very own Discord. It's a very own learning community that surrounds it. And if you join the other Discord that's linked down in the description, the main one where there are quite a few panel experts over there as well. In our joint Discord, joining that one using the earner tier, you get access to all the products and services. And if you just scroll down through everything that it has to say, there's a ton there waiting for you, including, like I said, the trades that we do as we put them out there, and then also the Trade Wins channel where you can see how everybody's using the information that's shared between members, between the panel experts. They're waiting for you. You can just scroll through and you can see it all happen, and you guys can be part of it using the links, like I said, down in the description. Last chart for you here, my friends, is on Tesla. Look at this. Absolutely beautiful. I talked about the 200-day. That would be what we should watch for. Probably get a big old rejection off the 200-day. And take a look at this. We'll drop down to the minute chart so you can see it for Tesla for what we saw. A lot with what we saw with the Qs, so probably following a lot with the big tech, but still, there's that initial pop that put us up above the 200, and this is what made that big long wick throughout the day. This part of the chart right here in the middle, how this thing V'd out for us. And that's what formed up that long tail that you see on the bottom of this most recent candle right there. So rejecting off the 200-day, that was to be expected, especially after that move that we saw that went all the way down as low as 222.79 and just recently popped as high as 294.86, which is darn near 300. And by the way, if we go out to the weekly chart on this, and we're also going to put in a horizontal line for you on this one right across the top of that candle, and now we're going to zoom out. If you check out, if we go back here to July, where we peaked out in July of 23, we found resistance there. Also, you can see that we chopped sideways right around that resistance. This coincides with that 200-day that I was talking about. So we even have historic resistance there. Where does that end? That ends at about 313 to 315. We want to be watchful for that, because if we can make it up above that, we likely have a lot more free rise coming our way for Tesla stock. So guys, whether it's market analysis that you're looking for, stock market, crypto market, bond market, or if you're looking for trades or options trades, the Discord is the place to be. I'm over there, the panel experts are over there, and we share our trades, we share our information, we share our knowledge. There's an Ask an Expert channel as well where you can ask us directly questions. We can answer them directly for you. The whole community is the best community I've ever had a chance to be part of. You guys can be part of it too. Don't forget about that coursework down in the description through Stockmo Academy. Small, easy to digest pieces, and I got 17 years in the field of education with an earned doctorate in education. I can tell you those courses are absolutely rock solid, whether it's from the educational side or from my passion on the finance side of things. Thank you very much for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. We'll see you next video.